Big connection.
Dustin Poirier will not shine bright like a diamond. That pains me to say. And Max Holloway will break all of our little MMA fan hearts. Now, let's break down this fight because Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier, it's an incredible fight, right? It's for the BMF title. You got the BMF Max Holloway, the BMF champion. Realistically, the actual BMF champion should be like JDM if you really think about it, because nonetheless, though, Max Holloway is the current BMF champion, and Dustin Poirier is the current nothing. This is his retirement fight. This is his last dance, and I gotta say, I do not think he will win his last dance. I think Max Holloway is going to piece up Dustin Poirier, man. There's just too many things going against Dustin. You know, we'll start with age. Max Holloway is a lot younger than Dustin. Not a lot, but he's a couple years younger. You know? I would say in their last couple of fights, to be honest with you, I think Dustin's taken more damage, to be honest, in his last couple of fights than Max as well. I mean, if you think about it, right? The Ilya fight, yes, he got KO'd. But even like he was getting hit with some big shots, to be fair. I'll say that. But prior to that, it was like what? Justin Gaethje took like no damage. He got kind of flash knocked down one time. Then before that, Arnold Allen, it was like competitive, but it wasn't like a war. Then before that, it was TKZ, who again took like a couple of shots, but like he won that pretty comfortably. And then before that, it's like Volkanovski, which he got pieced up, but that's going too far back. You know, with Dustin though, it's like Islam Makhachev. Then it was like Benoit Saint-Denis. I think let's actually go through it. It's like Benoit Saint-Denis, Islam Makhachev. I want to say Justin Gaethje when he got head kick KO'd, man. I almost forgot about that. Too much damage. The Makhachev fight was a war. You know, the Benoit Saint-Denis fight was what it was. It wasn't a war. He took minimal damage. But then before that, he got head kick KO'd against Justin Gaethje. And then I believe before that, it was the Chandler fight, which was another war. This is what I'm saying, man. This guy just has nonstop wars. Whereas, you know, Max, he's had performances over the last couple of years where I'm like, oh, he just styled on this guy. He styled on that guy. I ain't seen Dustin Poirier style on anybody in a long time. Again, yes, he KO'd Benoit, but even then, he faced some adversity. He lost the first round. He almost got submitted, kind of. I mean, he got held down at the very least, and he, you know, had his back taken by Benoit. Pause. Right? So, no Jones. So, my point is, Max Holloway, he's taken less damage. Yes, he just got KO'd. But we've seen guys, I mean, Dustin Poirier, he got KO'd by Gaethje. Then he goes on to beat Benoit Saint-Denis. Very impressively. So, it's not like, oh, someone gets KO'd, they never win again. It's like, no, we've seen guys bounce back from KOs. We've seen Volk just do it. Bouncing back from 2 KOs. I know he took a long time off, but Max has taken a long time off. He's taken more than, 6 months off? 7, 8 months it's been? Since October, since his last fight. So I think Max Holloway, he's recovered. And so was Dustin. Dustin is coming off of a war against Islam Makhachev. You know, you could argue who took more damage, right? One guy is coming off of getting submitted in the 5th round, but he had a bloody nose. And, you know, Dustin, he went into that fight with a broken rib. The other guy, that being Max Holloway, you know, the Ilya fight, he took some big shots. He got KO'd, of course, but it's a tricky thing. So, I don't know. I think this fight is pretty clear-cut. Again, Max Holloway has taken less damage. He's younger. He has a lighter man skill. He is a featherweight moving up. And look, lighter man skill is a thing. You know, it's not just a meme in the community. It is a real thing. We've seen it. So Max Holloway, we saw how much faster he looked against Justin Gaethje. How much faster he looked, man. The kicks, the punches. He was like, bah, bah, bah. He was, bro, he was tapping Justin Gaethje, whatever the kid's name is, face so much that Gaethje was like anticipating shots before. Bro, Max would throw like a 2-piece combination and Justin would like wince waiting for the 3rd and 4th part of that combination. Like Max was too fast for Justin Gaethje that night, and he's, again, younger. This is going to be a Max with a more rehydrated body, a stronger body, a better chin. Again, when he fought Justin Gaethje, it was like, all right, I might go back down to 145. Now, no plans of going back down. This is his proper lightweight debut. Proper lightweight debut. And look, I know Dustin has beat him before. The first time, I don't count that. It was too many years ago, and it was Max's debut. Let's talk about the second time, though, because people forget, man, Max was not doing that bad. In fact, I believe he won maybe 2 rounds. Maybe. I could be wrong, but he was making it competitive. He was. There's actually a sequence where he like rocks Dustin very badly against the cage to where Dustin has to go for a double leg, which is like we never see that from him. So Max Holloway was doing all right in that fight. It wasn't on like super short notice. It was on about 6 weeks notice, which I always thought it was like on shorter notice, but it was only on 6 weeks notice. But you could tell that was not like, that's not how Max Holloway is going to come into this fight. The way he came into that fight where he had like flabs over his shorts, and hell no, he's going to come into this fight like strong, man. He's probably going to be on some roids. He's going to be hanging out with Usman and Jones, and they're going to hook him up with their best doctor, honestly. He's going to be strong. He's going to be fast. Now, I think what he's going to do, I think he's going to just keep his distance. I think you're going to see a Max Holloway who, yes, he's going to get hit with some shots, but he's just going to be too fast for Dustin. He's going to be too mobile. Look, Dustin looks in phenomenal shape, but when does Dustin Poirier not look in good shape? Like, he always has a six-pack and stuff. So I think you're going to see a Max Holloway that's very mobile, a Max Holloway that's stomping on the legs, stomping on the knees, doing the calf kicks. He did it against Ilya. Now, Ilya Topuria, what he did very well, and what Dustin could do as well, is time Max Holloway's knee stomps, time his low kicks. All right, you hit me with a knee stomp, right hand, just time it. But I don't think that Dustin Poirier will pick up on it as much or as easy as Ilya did, because I just think Dustin is, well, I think he's a lot of a step behind Ilya. I was going to say he's a step behind Ilya, but he's like 5 steps behind Ilya. So he's not going to be able to, even if he does try to counter, Max will be too slick, man. Too slick. And he's not going to be, everyone wants to say, oh, Max was dehydrated against Ilya. If you even want to run with that narrative, which I never choose to, but if you want to, he's not going to be dehydrated. This is, again, strong Max Holloway. He's going to be fast. He's going to have his wherewithal. I do think Dustin Poirier will land some things. I do. I think he's going to land a couple of nice counters. I think there will be a sequence where he kind of backs up Max against the cage, maybe. Maybe it's like, oh, hold on there now. Or it's going to be one of those. But I do think Max Holloway is very slick. He's very tricky. He's got the wheel kick to the body or whatever, and sneaky little elbows too. Max Holloway has some sneaky good elbows. I do think he's just going to be a bit too tricky, man. Just a bit too tricky. I think he's going to win I'm going to say maybe a 4-1 decision. I think Dustin will probably win, like, I could see Dustin maybe winning a round 3, maybe a round 2, maybe one of the earlier rounds, but I do think once it gets into the deeper waters, that favors Max. It does. It favors this younger Max Holloway who doesn't have a replaced hip and didn't come into the Makhachev fight with injured ribs, has not had a bunch of damage done to him in his last couple of fights, compared to Max, who has had damage done to him, but not as much as Poirier. So that's about it. I do think Max Holloway will dominate. I think he'll land the faster shots, the cleaner shots. I think Poirier has a good chance. I wouldn't say a great chance, but he has a good chance of winning. You know, I'm not going to fence it here, but but he does have a good chance of winning if he puts it on Max early, I actually think, or maybe if he kind of tries to let Max wear himself out and then put it on him, because Dustin in the second fight against Max, he did kind of rally back in that like 5th round, and that's kind of what won him the fight definitively. I do think he could try something like that here, where maybe he'll give up like the early rounds to maybe try to tire Max out. But then again, that's not, I'm saying that out loud, Max Holloway has some of the best 5-round cardio ever. So again, this is just one of those where it's not like Dustin has bad cardio. It's not like Dustin doesn't have good power to rock Holloway. It's not, but it's just Holloway is just a step ahead. That's just all it is. So I think Max Holloway will win this one via 4-1 decision. 49, 46, whatever the fuck. He's going to win this fight, in my opinion, definitively. And both guys, I could see a world where even Holloway doesn't have much of a scratch on his face either. I could see a world where Poirier is all bloody and Holloway is the one with like maybe something under his eye, but that's about it. It pains me to say this. And I'm going to end with this. For some weird reason, I could see Max Holloway trying to go for a submission. I don't know why. I could just see him trying to go for like a Darce choke. I think it's just because I got propagandized because I saw Max Holloway do like a Darce choke on his sparring partner, like some random footage I saw like recently. And so I have a weird feeling he might try to like submit Dustin Poirier. I don't know why, But then again, Dustin Poirier does always get subbed in title fights, so who knows? That's another thing as well. Everyone wants to talk about, oh, Dustin's never lost 2 in a row. Well, Dustin has also never beat a champion. I'm just saying I love Dustin Poirier. He's in my top 5 of all time, but he's not winning this one. That's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description, and peace.